Hi, I'm Chris Maragkakis of Simply Be Retreats and Therapies. I'm a life coach, therapist and podcaster. Welcome to Mindful Mutterings. Please like, share and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening. Hi, I hope you're all well. So this week I want to talk about anxiety and depression because they are the most common mental health problems, and also they are unfortunately on the rise. Now, depression is generally caused by living in the past. This is when we wish things were the same as they were before, or that maybe we'd done things differently than we did, or that someone should have behaved in a certain way and didn't, and we can't get past that. And depression can present itself as intense unhappiness or hopelessness. We might experience a loss of appetite or sleep problems, lack of energy or motivation, self-confidence issues, and in extreme cases, thoughts of death or suicide. Whereas anxiety is generally caused by living in the future. And this is then worrying about what might happen, what someone might say or think, or worrying about the things that are out of our control. And anxiety can present itself in a number of ways, but you get butterflies in your stomach, dizziness, you might feel restless or have headaches, breathing might speed up, or you feel sick, you get changes in your sex drive, you're unable to stop worrying, you feel really low. Conversely, you're depressed. You have a disconnection to people and the environment around you, and you feel like you're losing touch with reality, and in extreme cases it triggers panic attacks. But when we live in the present moment, it is impossible to feel anxious or depressed, and that's very easy to say, but how do we manage this when we're struggling already? So practical solutions such as drinking water, which can ground you to the present moment, or using breathing techniques which help improve the oxygen getting to the brain so that you can problem solve effectively, will help you to come back to the present moment and to stay rooted there. Long-term solutions will involve challenging the unhelpful beliefs and maybe using mindfulness to help anchor yourself in the present moment so that you can become aware of the processes that are causing you to suffer. Then you've got well-being strategies such as journaling, regular exercise, spending time outside, maybe meditation and yoga, because these can help create space for us to reduce the stress hormones that are being produced by the body. And in doing so, we can distance ourselves from the triggering events in our lives which are contributing to our anxiety or depression. This distance then gives us the time to examine these events and problems, and then we can look at them and as to what we can do, how we can take back control of our life, how we can take back control of our mindset so that we're not at the beck and call of the triggering emotions and chemical responses in our brain that are causing us to feel these awful conditions. I also find this exercise really helpful. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, take a piece of paper and either using a spider diagram or a list, whatever works for you, write down all the things that are overwhelming you or causing you to feel stress or anxiety or making you miserable. Then cross out anything that you have no control over. Then take a new piece of paper and on the left-hand side, write down everything that is left from your diagram or your list and leave plenty of space between them. On the right-hand side, then start to break down the problems into smaller things that you can do. Try to work out things that you can start to do to improve or resolve the issue. And then when that's done, break the tasks in the right hand side down into even smaller things that you can easily do in your everyday life to help you move out of depression or anxiety and into a sense of balance. The thing is, whatever has happened in the past, we cannot change. We can't go back there. It's done. We've moved on. Everything is different now. And so we have to find a way where we can learn from it and we can move on from it so that it stops controlling our future. And by the same token, we cannot, with the best will in the world, control the future. We have no way of knowing. We could problem solve every conceivable outcome, but we can't control all the variables. So it will never happen the way we think it will in our head, because there's always something that could throw a curveball. And so all we're really doing is keep giving ourselves unnecessary chemicals, unnecessary stress, and we will still have to do what everybody has to do, and that is deal with whatever happens in the present moment as it occurs. And so when we change the chemical response that controls our moods, and they're the thing that are ultimately making us depressed or anxious, that's what makes a difference. And this is not easy, especially if you're already, pretty entrenched in depression or anxiety, and maybe you're needing medication, and maybe you're feeling that you just don't know which way to turn. But having good well-being strategies, breaking things down into small manageable tasks that you can on your good day start to do something. And just accept the fact that you are where you are at the moment, and that's absolutely okay. Some days you can't wash your hair because it's too much. Some days you can go out and socialise. That's absolutely okay. But what we want to do is we want to start moving from those feelings of overwhelm, anxiety and depression into a more balanced outcome. And the only way we can do that is by small, consistent changes. And each time you manage to do something, you will start to feel that you're more in control of how you're responding to things, and that will then make the next bit easier, and that will make the day after that easier. And be kind to yourself. You'll have days where you have setbacks, and that's okay. You haven't failed. No one fails at life. We're just all on different learning experiences, and some of us need different ways of looking at things, because what works for the majority of people doesn't work for us, and that's because we're all different and we're all individual, and that is absolutely as it's meant to be too. So consistently using affirmations and visualizations can help to take control of the activities in your mind, so that going forward you can manage your mental health proactively. You know what it is you want to change. You're accepting of the fact that this is where you are at the moment. You know you're going to have good days and bad days, but on the good days you can really start to do something to take back control of your life and change the way that you're responding to things. And I know that's like a whistle-stop tour of anxiety and depression, but really it's so personal to everyone when they're going through it. But these are useful tips that you can have to help you manage that. And also, obviously, another great resource for managing anxiety and depression and stress is to talk with friends and family. If you don't have them, then you need to find support from another area, or maybe you don't feel that you can discuss it with your friends and family. That's absolutely okay too. Use other resources. You can listen to podcasts. I've got one called Mindful Mutterings. You can find that on most platforms, but there are hundreds of them out there. Maybe read self-help books. There's always ways that you can learn something new about yourself and about managing your condition that will help you. Maybe learn to meditate. That has a huge impact on mental health. Maybe use affirmations. And then using those affirmations, then you can help start to control some of the aspects of your life that you want to change. And if you want to know more about them, check out podcast 30. Or maybe it's time to seek professional or medical help because you know that you can't do this on your own, and that's absolutely okay. The bravest thing that you can do is ask for help. So I really hope that this has given you some insight, and I really hope that you know that you are not alone if you're feeling these conditions. So many people are suffering and struggling with anxiety and depression and stress. And like I say, there are so many resources out there, but sometimes you just don't know where to go to ask. So if you would like some help or you want to get in touch, then please contact me via the website simplybe.org.uk. Happy to answer any questions. Or if you want to know more about how coaching can support you, then absolutely get in touch. But whatever you do this week, if you're feeling overwhelmed, please take that first step and start to take care of you. And I'll speak to you next week for the next one. Bye.